What is going on, guys? I got to thinking yesterday a little bit about Nintendo because I'm gonna let you know right off the bat. I've been a Nintendo fanboy for the longer part of my life. I've owned every console, handheld or home, up until the 3DS, yeah. And I still don't own a Wii U, but yeah. The reason that I got to thinking was, now that the Wii U's been out for a while, it kind of got me wondering if Nintendo was using the Wii as a stopgap solution. I feel that it wasn't used as a console that really represents Nintendo. I don't believe that they did. I don't believe they intended to use the Wii as a groundbreaking console. Everyone makes a big deal out of, well, originally they did. Now we look back at it and say it was kind of a silly feature, but originally, when the Wii was announced, people were making a big deal out of the motion control. And I'll admit that did kind of spark my interest because, we weren't really accustomed to motion controls. The Wii definitely got motion control gaming started, but it hasn't really taken off since then at all. Xbox has incorporated it now with the Kinect. PlayStation tried it a bit with the Move, and I know they're going to continue that with the PS4. But it really hasn't taken off to where you'd think it would have been by now, with how successful the Wii actually was. But aside from being successful, the Wii wasn't really... I feel like Nintendo didn't really put any emphasis on actually making it a groundbreaking console. It's almost like they stopped caring about actual performance and not. I mean, they've always been a company that cares about its gamers, in a sense that they want their games to be fun, and they want their loyalists to remain loyal to Nintendo's first party franchises. And I feel that they didn't achieve that very well with the Wii, in that sense. And to me, it feels like it was just used as a stopgap. Even now with the Wii U, I can see how they've implemented a few things, and now, obviously there's now an HD output from it, but all they really did was soup up the Wii, really. I mean, they souped up a Wii, and it's better now, but I feel that the Wii U, should have been the Wii 6 years ago. I really do feel that way, because it wasn't totally out of the question. The Wii U isn't particularly powerful in comparison to the PS3 and 360. It's slightly more powerful, but it's not to a point where you can say, well, golly, it's far and away the better current console, but it's not. It's definitely better, but only slightly better. And I feel that Nintendo really blew it with it. They sort of dug themselves a hole, and despite leading the other two consoles in sales, they've really fallen behind in actual achievement, I guess you can say. It's almost like they're so far behind now in like consumer support because they haven't put the effort that Sony and Microsoft have. And now I kind of want to move on to another of Nintendo's main franchises, um, Pokemon. And I'm a pretty big Pokemon fan. I guess you'd call me a Poke nerd. Um, but with Pokemon Black and White, I feel that in the same way the Wii was a stopgap, I feel that the original Black and White, not Black and White 2, was also a stopgap. I'm not saying it was a bad game, because it wasn't. I don't think I've ever played a bad Pokemon game. But it didn't feel as if it was where they wanted it to go. They didn't really want to go in that direction. And the biggest example where you can see this is in the legendaries for Black and White, Reshiram and Zekrom. I feel that there's, I was going to say they're silly designs, but they're not silly. It's more like they're forced. It's more like they felt that they had to come up with something just legendary and gigantic looking, and that's what they came up with. And now, with the upcoming X and Y versions, and believe it or not, those are the first two original Pokemon games, not spin-off games, that aren't named after color, and that's kind of cool, I guess. But regarding X and Y, I feel that they've done what they didn't do with the original Black and White, because Black and White 2 is definitely a good game. I'm currently actually playing it. But yeah, the X and Y, if you haven't seen the trailer for X and Y, it's on Pokemon's official channel on YouTube, and I feel that they've finally taken a step forward, like no previous Pokemon games have. And you can argue that from Red, Blue, and Yellow to Silver and Gold was a pretty huge step. I mean, they went from, Black and White in terms of graphics to pretty much full-on color. And that was a pretty big step. But X and Y is now going to be the very first 3D Pokemon game. Not 3D in a sense that it pops out at you. I mean, yeah, it's going to be for the 3DS, and yes, the 3DS has 3D, stereoscopic 3D, but in a sense that they're no longer these little 2D sprites. They're actually going to be 3D polygons, and that's kind of cool. But what's got me most excited is that the two legendary Pokemon, Xerneas and Yveltal, the mascot characters, I feel that they finally give off that legendary sense, that mythical sense, and they've actually given them their full-on attention, and that's something that I feel they didn't do with Black and White, and again with Black and White 2. But again, those are good games. It's just I don't feel that I feel almost as if they were stopgap games, but they've definitely taken a step forward with X and Y now. Anyway, guys, that's my time. I gotta get out of here. If you enjoyed any of this, please leave a like, comment. Want to voice your opinion? Go ahead and voice it in the comments section. Thanks for watching. I'm out.